Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Demo Jam covering admin apps on the AppExchange. My name is Jeff Gross. I'm a Salesforce MVP. This is a regular thing that I do. I hang out here every third Thursday of the month with my friend, Salesforce MVP, Joshua Hoskins. Say hi, my friend.
Hey Jeff, hi everyone. Great to be here. Really excited to learn more about admin apps today.
Exactly. It's going to be a fun one, but we cannot do this without our ever popular friend, Amanda Nelson from the AppExchange. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, I am excited. Another Demo Jam, second one of the year on our webinar, but this time admin apps, which are just so exciting to see.
Fun stuff. And you know how people can follow along. We have this thing going live on Twitter with the hashtag Demo Jam. So just go out there, follow along with Demo Jam, see what's being talked about. You can also participate in this by sending in a question to some of the demoers today for the AppExchange Demo Jam. So if you got a question, utilize hashtag Demo Jam, bring your questions in, and we'll raise them. So today's participants include Cvent, Nintex, Jitterbit, Ascendix Search, Apsona, and Spanning Backup. Now, we got to start this thing out with the rules, and to tell us all about them, we got Joshua. Go for it, my friend.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. There are always rules. So rules haven't changed. We've been doing this for quite some time now, but every Demo Jam participant will be allowed 3 minutes and only 3 minutes to give us the most convincing, jam-packed demo that can show just exactly how much we as admins can save during our day by using their application. Within their demo, they're allowed to use 0 slides, and at the very end, there'll be one winner, and that one person and organization will have bragging rights for this month's trophy. And we encourage all of you to stick around to the very end, where there'll be a live voting area in this session for you to vote. So please stick around and keep your mobile phones handy.
Excellent. And by the way, if during this Demo Jam you hear an owl or an elephant, no, don't look around the room. It's not hanging out with you. You didn't let something in the door. That's just the warning sounds letting our friends know, well, that owl comes up with 30 seconds left, and that elephant comes if 3 minutes happens to pass. But I think we've got some really good demoers today who are going to give it to us just in under 3 minutes. And to kick it off, we've got Ascendix Search. Ascendix Search app completely changes the way that your team uses Salesforce, simplifying and power data searching. And hang on just a second here. Sorry about that. There we go. Using targeted list building, activity and task tracking, bulk edits, mass actions, export to Excel, and more, you can expect to increase your team efficiency and Salesforce adoption and put a decrease in that list view request that happens all the time. You can double your team's productivity, whether they need to identify top accounts to call, compile a list of leads, and amass an email, or just plan the next roadshow using the map searching feature. So without further ado, I've got Wes Snow with us. Wes is the CEO of Ascendix Search. Wes, are you ready for your 3 minutes?
I am, sir. Thank you, Jeff.
Let's do it. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Great. As a Salesforce admin, I'm constantly looking for ways to more effectively leverage my time to support the application and my end users. One area where I constantly get questions or requests is around searching for specific data sets, building list views, or creating reports. There are many use cases where the out-of-the-box search facilities fall short in terms of getting to the right information or are simply too complex for the average user to engage with. That was until I deployed Ascendix Search. Here I've created a contact-based search form that contains the most commonly requested fields end users would search on, enabling them to build their own search conditions by simply filling in fields within the form, whether that be core or custom objects. Here we want to create a list of all contacts that we have not touched base with since the beginning of the year. We also want to refine that particular result set down to just those that are in the finance industry. And by clicking the search button, we immediately get that result set. It's important to note that in the absence of Ascendix Search, that would have been a reporting exercise. In addition to that query by example form, Ascendix Search comes equipped with a mapping component as well, allowing for the end user to go in and get a bit more immersive with regards to filtering down their result sets. In this case, drawing a shape on top of the map further restricts that result set down to just those that are in that particular shaded area. Let's back out of this particular result and clear the criteria and come up with a larger result set and show you our mapping and charting facility. Map and charts always tell a really vibrant story about the result set that you have, but this map also is interactive, allowing for further refinement of the result sets. Clicking on the consulting pie, we're able to further filter down those contacts that are associated with accounts that are in the industry of consulting, but further refining it down to just those that are in the state of Texas. We now have a really interesting result set. And after having achieved this result set, it may be that we want to save the search after we conduct it. In this case, we can click on the Save Search Facility, rename that, and then upon having saved it, we also have the ability to share that out to groups and or users. As an admin, there are times when it makes sense to bulk edit records, and in this case, what we have is a bulk editing facility. You'll notice that we've filtered this down to just those records that are in the state of Texas, and you'll see that there's some not so conforming data in this particular column. With the bulk edit facility, we're able to select that and go in and change the value here to TX, and now immediately get all of those adjusted. Lastly, Ascendix comes equipped with a export to Excel facility. And so this long-awaited feature and commonly requested one is now available in the out-of-the-box solution here for Ascendix Search, where you select the result set columns and export to Excel, and you're off to the races. This is Ascendix Search.
Brilliant, and you came in right 1 second before the timer went off here. So fantastic job, Wes. I see a lot of value in this. First off, by just being able to create a search experience based on exactly what your typical users are going to be looking for. And as I think about it, how many times do I do a search in a day? And in fact, most of the time we don't think about it. We have all of the different times that we have to look for information, whether it be in Salesforce, outside of Salesforce, in our personal lives or in business. There's so much that we're searching for every day. And by being able to filter this down immediately and making it very simple, you got a great way of being able to find your data, because all the data in the world inside of Salesforce is of little use if you can't find it, if you can't apply it, and then being able to do things like see the data there on the map, be able to draw the square around it, be able to do the mass edits. Man, that's some pretty fantastic stuff. So, and then you throw on top of that the charting engine, which I always get a little bit touched when I see being able to visualize the data in a different way. So fantastic. Thanks for the demo today, Wes.
You bet.
Amanda, what have we got for an audience question?
Hi, Jeff, and great job, Wes. Yeah, we are taking audience questions. We will ask one question from you, the audience, for each demo you see today. So drop your questions in and ask away. The question that we got for you, Wes, is about saving these searches after they're conducted. Is that something you could do and follow up? And also, can you share these searches with others in the organization?
Yeah, so one of the highlights of the product and a common challenge was in list view building, you have to create the list view first, or you have to save it first and then see if the results are meaningful. In this case, we're actually conducting the search and then allowing for that to be saved here. And after having saved those, they show up in this nice little drop down here. And as mentioned earlier, once you actually save those, you have the ability to not only share those with users, but also groups, and control the access level, so that if you wanted to share it, but have that be in a read-only, you could control that type of mechanism.
Fantastic. Man, that's extremely useful, and appreciate you doing the demo today, Wes. Thank you very much
for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, Joshua, over to you, my friend.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Next up, we have Apsona. Apsona offers a suite of apps for the following: advanced reporting across any number of objects, easy data management functions such as filtered searches, import, export, and mass update, quick, simple in-browser generation of Word and Excel documents, and last but not least, single table deduplication and CSV matching. Today with us, we've got Sridhar, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can. You know, you've got 3 minutes to show just how awesome and how much time I'm going to save using your app.
All Right. Thank you so much, and appreciate the opportunity. Just for a little bit of context on the question we're going to address today, the issue is how do we build a report within Salesforce that pulls data across multiple objects which are not related to one another? And that's not very easy to do within native Salesforce, but we have an answer, something within the browser. As you can see, my reporting tool here. First thing I'm going to do is launch it in its own window. So it comes up like this. And I'm going to build a report that pulls data that shows me contact information, opportunity information via the opportunity contact role object, and campaign information from the campaign member object. And so that way you see a bunch of different objects, 5 objects being shown in one report. Let's make a new report here. Let's call it Demo Jam. You see that I'm going to be making this from scratch, so you can see the process of building a new report. Add a sub-report. Let's call it contacts. And let's make it come from the contact role object. And let's select that. Let's go into the retrieved field and say, get me the contact ID, get me from the contact side, the full name of the contact and the email address of the contact. From the opportunity side, get me the amount, get me the close date, get me also the name of the opportunity. Let me reorder this so that I get the full name and email in the right order. I'm going to save and run, and there's a list of 3 contacts in the database showing me a little report. Now let's edit this, add another step that pulls data from campaign members actually. And let's get that from the campaign member object. And over in retrieved field, let me get the contact ID from the campaign member. And from the campaign side of things, let me get the name of the campaign and the start date of the campaign. We can add other fields if we wanted to. Most importantly, I'll go into the linkages and say, I want to make sure that the contact IDs line up between these 2 steps. So the contact role contact matches campaign member contact. Save and run, and we got this little report that shows me what I need. Now, this is just the beginning of things. There's a whole lot more that you can do with the reporting tool. There is this example, opportunity cases year over year. If I run this report, you see that this is a list of accounts, and for each account, I'm seeing a year-over-year total, opportunities by year, 2 years ago, last year, cases last year. And if you dissect this report a little bit, take a look at its internals here. We've got 4 steps here: accounts, opportunities, last year, this year, and cases. So you can see that it's able to pull data across multiple objects from the same object multiple times. It can pull metrics. It can pull arbitrarily many records. And so it's really powerful as a tool. I'm under 4 seconds. Thank you so much.
Nice, great job with 4 seconds to spare. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this because you showed so many awesome features that myself as the admin, where I've been trying to build reports in my daily job, have been complicated because this tool didn't exist when I needed it a couple of years ago. So I guess one of the common challenges that most folks have with building reports is the ability to expand across multiple objects and bring in additional data sets from objects where there might not be a direct Salesforce linkage in terms of master data relationship and things like that. And so that's usually the common thread that someone will run into from an admin and when they're first starting doing like report 101. And I see that out of the box, this tool solves that for you because you're able to not only leverage existing reports that you've created in the previous step, but you're also able to bring in with different elements of data and also aggregate them at the same level. So you can bring in number of cases, you can bring in number of contacts, but you could also bring in sort of a summarization level as well. So year over year. I think that year over year report is really hard to do because sometimes we find people create like a separate date field just to be able to get the same value in the report price and grouping. So I think I've been around the block long enough to know that this definitely will save me a lot of time and also other admins who envision and do a lot of report writing. So great job for the demo. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. Amanda, what questions do we have out there from the audience?
Yes, questions are coming in. This is great. The question is there a limit to the amount of steps a report can have?
No, we had one customer that built one with 48 steps. there's no limit. Well, no
Wow.
theoretical.
Efficient?
Yeah, I mean, they cloned the same step for 40 times.
I would love to know that use case.
Oh, geez.
That's awesome. All right, Sridhar, thank you very much for the demo. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Jeff, over to you.
I wonder. As soon as somebody says there's no limits, that just immediately puts me in the mode of, how could I break that?
Yeah. I hear you. Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's keep going. We've got Cvent with us next. Cvent is all about event technology in this world. Their app provides sales and marketing teams with access to Cvent events right inside the system they work every day. Salesforce, of course, our favorite. The Cvent event app empowers teams and allows them to easily invite, nominate, and register business prospects and customers for events, and those teams can increase attendance to live events and help drive more business without ever leaving Salesforce. With us today, I've got Ryan Costa. He is senior technical sales consultant. I would imagine gets to demo this all the time. And Ryan, your 3 minutes is ready to start. Let's see it.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. So we know the importance of events to the sales pipeline, and we know that orchestrating great events takes a lot of work. And a key part of that is ensuring you get the right people to that event. Your sales and relationship management folks, they really hold those keys, right? They have the qualifications. They know which customers and which prospects will be the best ones to go. So I'm going to start here within a contact record. Let's start here, and this is a qualified buyer. And I know that not just because their name is qualified buyer, but because, again, I'm their account manager. I've worked with them for many years, and I know the value of that we have in our business relationship. So directly from that contact record, I'm able to click on this invite and register button. And let's say they say, you know what, Ryan, can you send me an invite to that conference? Absolutely. I can click on that button, find the correct conference, even choose the right email to send them, click on that invite button, and it's going to send them the invitation directly out of Cvent. Now, what's great is when they receive that email, they'll be able to click on that register button, take them to that event registration website, and actually pre-populate all of those fields directly from the registration. So be able to easily register for that event from Salesforce information. While we're talking about registering, you might have scenarios where your contacts, your leads, you're on the phone with them and they say, register me right now. So an example might be, I'm a sales development person. I'm on the phone and I'm with Duke Costa here. I'm trying to educate Duke on our webinar program, how it will be really valuable, a really educational opportunity. And he says, you know what? I'd love to go to that webinar. Could you actually just go ahead and register me for that webinar? Absolutely. Right. So as that sales development person, again, within a lead record, I click on that event. I click on this register button, and it pushes me over to the event registration website. And again, pre-populates all of those contact fields, making it that much easier to then register on behalf of Duke to attend this webinar. So, you're going to want to track attendee registrations and event history. You're going to want to attribute all of the event attendance in your events to the sales pipeline, or what we like to call at Cvent, the return on event. So I can go to this contact record, John Contact. My naming skill is not that great. And I actually have an object for events participation. So I can see that John's accepted, John's visited for these other ones, and I can follow up with them. We could also use campaigns and attribute campaign members as people register, who's registered, who's been invited. We can also use the opportunity areas. In this case, I'm collecting registration fees, so I'd like to see how much I've made in registration fees. Only $2,100. I think I'm going to need to invite and register more folks. So we're really using this app to put the power of Cvent right at the fingertips of your Salesforce users and give you visibility into return on event. And if you guys would like to see it.
You just saw it, though.
Man.
Oh, you were right there, and I know you were
so
finished.
Close.
I know. It's just the way it goes. Well, I see the power in this, not only from being able to stay in exactly, like you say, staying in Salesforce. This is where we want users to be able to operate, to be able to invite people to the events, because every time we have events out there, it's positive brand building, it's bringing in more sales, it's doing all kinds of, anything that an event can do. but the ability for you to customize that, bring it out to the person immediately, or even do the registration for them, because you may be doing a calling campaign where you want to be able to prevent any other, let's just call them impediments, from coming in the way of their registering. You can immediately do it, and the power of being able to do that there, trace it all the way through to your analytics of how many people are attending, seeing that in real time. Pretty powerful stuff. And I bet you there's a whole nother end on the community side where it comes to all of those events pages and everything like that, that hey, maybe come another demo jam, you could probably show us even more.
Sure, absolutely. I'm glad you understand the power of events. I think that's probably why 200,000 people travel to San Fran every year for Dreamforce.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, this is a monthly event for us, so we know the power of events. Amanda, what have we got for Cvent out there? There's got to be a good audience question coming in.
There are a bunch. People are really excited about this topic of events in Salesforce, so great job. The question is, can you mass invite contacts?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Can you mass invite contacts?
Massive, yes, absolutely. So we have an opportunity to actually see those different events. So let's say I'd like to invite 10 people. Instead of starting from a contact records, we have this object for events. And I can actually go in and say, you know what, I want to invite 10 people. And then I'm just going in, searching for those contacts individually, and then being able to invite them to that event.
Because
so
we know it's important to just invite
speakers, you could do that.
But there's a lot going on there.
Was, related like for speakers, for example, as well.
Correct, yes. So what's nice is that you can create different invitation lists. So in Cvent, we push people down unique registration experiences based on who they are. So you can have an invitation email for speakers. You can have an invitation email for exhibitors, one for prospects, one for customers. And as I am inviting people from Salesforce, I can make sure that I'm selecting those type of contacts and sending them the correct type of invitation.
Well, that's cool. That was a whole nother direction I wasn't even thinking about, but that makes sense. So, by the way, your chief napping officer, is that Duke? Is that your dog, just by the way?
That is my dog, and he has been watching me demo and has been sleeping the whole time, so I guess I'm not that interesting to him.
That's all right. You were interesting to us. Appreciate that.
You.
Thanks for doing the demo today. Joshua, I'm handing it back over to you.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Great demo. Next up, we have Jitterbit. Jitterbit enables Salesforce customers to rapidly connect and compose SaaS and on-premise APIs together with intelligence services, including AI, real-time language translation, sentiment analysis, fraud detection, and upsell recommendations for any business process. Jitterbit enhances Salesforce data, exposes legacy systems, publishes secure mobile and business-to-business APIs, and optimizes business processes. So I've worked with Jitterbit before, so I'm really excited to see what they've got to show today. Jesse, are you out there?
I am. How are you, Josh?
All right, I'm great. Jesse, you've got 3 minutes to tell me how much time I can save using Jitterbit.
Perfect. Let's do it. So thanks, and hi, everybody. As Josh mentioned, my name is Jesse Peterson. I'm the Senior Director of Strategic ISVs for Jitterbit. So I manage our ISV Force partnerships with Salesforce and Salesforce.org. And again, Jitterbit is an iPaaS, an integration platform as a service on the AppExchange that enables customers to integrate their Salesforce instances to other SaaS, on-premise, and cloud applications in their technology stacks. And for today's demo, I'm going to show you how easy it is for a regular guy like me, farthest thing from a technically proficient person and probably the least technically proficient person in this virtual room, to integrate Salesforce to Workday using Jitterbit. And to do this, I'm going to use Jitterbit's Citizen Integrator, which you're seeing here. It's a part of our platform. It contains a library of pre-built recipes, not connectors, that can be used to build custom integrations to a plethora of endpoints in a matter of minutes. I'm going to take a set of Workday workers, and I'm going to actually move them over to my Salesforce instance and make them users. So Citizen Integrator is super easy to use. So here, I've actually got my operation within my recipe. And you can see I'm going to provision Workday workers into Salesforce users with optional demographic filters. Here, I actually point my operation to one of my environments, and with Jitterbit, it is possible to have multiple environments. I'm going to actually test my connection for Salesforce. Everything looks like it's good to go there. I'm going to do the same thing for my Workday credentials. In here, we actually have the option to insert additional demographic variables to do even more filtering. But in the interest of time, I'm going to hold off and stick with what we've got here right now. And at this point, it's actually time to run the operation. So when I click run, Jitterbit actually kicks off, and it actually provides real-time updates. So the agent gets the requirements to pull my Workday workers, leverages the filters, and then goes ahead and actually adds them to my Salesforce instance as users. So if I click next, you can see the job is done. I'm going to actually save and finish the job and then toggle over to my Salesforce environment. Refresh. Roll, please. And boom, you can see these workers have been brought over from my Workday instance and have been added to Salesforce as users. So in conclusion, Jitterbit can help you access mission-critical data and make Salesforce a source of truth by enabling real-time connectivity between Salesforce and the rest of your tech stack. And if an amateur like me can do what you just saw, imagine what your Salesforce team, the real professionals, the admins, the analysts, the MVPs, could do with a tool like this.
And time's up. Well, I think you just about wrapped up, so thank you very much for that demo.
Of course.
So what I really think is important there, Jesse, is the fact that you differentiated the fact that anyone can do this. You referenced that there's a tool specifically inside of Salesforce that's for the citizen integrator, right? The person who wants to point and click, maybe doesn't know the ins and outs of translations and mappings. I mean, Jitterbit, I've seen the real Jitterbit tool that powers all of this stuff, and it's very technical focused. It's very engineer driven, right, from a developer perspective. But to package all of that information up to recipes, and I also like the fact that you called out recipes as well, because there's a big difference between connectors and recipes. Connectors is just the highway to the different systems, right? But if you're saying, for instance, you need that highway, but you also need to do certain things while you're on your way from destination A to destination B, that's what the recipe includes. And so many times I see customers just say, yes, it's got a connector. And then you show up, you're like, great, like, do you have this done? And they're like, no, like, well, all this stuff needs to be done. You need to understand how value A in Workday will match to the user profile in the target system. And so having recipes, I think, is a great call out there, in that distinction that you're able to empower a business user to be able to set up that integration right there and then when they need it. And it's very intuitive. It's a very simple user interface that's not too overwhelming. And so I think that that's a great play in the ecosystem, and certainly saving a lot of admin's time. So thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Amanda, what questions do we have out there for Jitterbit?
Yes. The question is around enhancing Salesforce data. How does Jitterbit help with that?
So I think, as I mentioned it real briefly in the demo, it really helps to make Salesforce really the system of truth. If an organization is using Salesforce as their CRM, you very rarely see somebody go wall to wall, with Salesforce when they bring it on for starters, or even after a few years. So you're still going to have legacy or disparate systems that exist, as part of the tech stack, and being able to connect, Salesforce to a back-end ERP like a NetSuite, to help with the configure price quote processing. It just makes, again, Salesforce that much stronger. It also obviously helps improve a lot of efficiency, because there's less rework, a lot of less swivel chairing, so to speak, because the data that the organization needs, regardless of the department, can actually exist in the CRM itself.
Awesome, thank you very much. Just want to remind everyone to hang on hold on to your seat. We've got 2 more demos coming up, and then we'll turn over to you all to vote who's going to take home the Demo Jam trophy for today. So Jeff, can you introduce the next person?
I can, but the only thing I was thinking about with that is Jitterbit makes it really easy to do these kinds of integrations like that. However, the next time your boss comes up and says, hey, how long is that going to take? And you say, well, about a 20th of an hour. I could get Workday connected to Salesforce. You might want to just up that estimate because it is quick to do and you can do it in a demo jam, but at the same time, you probably want to give yourself a little buffer, maybe about 20 minutes or something. That'll give you some extra time.
It's an amazing PSA, Jeff. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm trying to make sure everybody keeps all kinds of expectations in line.
Reality.
Next up.
Well, you can go out for lunch or something, you know.
Well, exactly. You got to buy yourself Chipotle.
Give yourself a reason.
Today's App Demo Jam is sponsored by Chipotle. I wish it was, but it's not. Sorry.
Lunch break.
Exactly. It is lunch. Next up, we have Nintex. They are a recognized global leader in document generation and workflow automation. They enable Salesforce admins to accelerate sales cycles, improve the user experience, increase revenue, automate document creation, and man, it's just simple as drag and drop. Without further ado, I've got Vincent Cabral here, and Vincent, you're about VP of product here, so let us see the product that you've been working on. Let's see how you can do drag and drop and amaze the crowd today. Are you ready, Vincent?
I am ready.
Let's do it. Your 3 minutes begins now.
Well, good morning and good afternoon, admins. I am here today to show you the new Drawloop DocGen Designer. And so we're going to do that by just creating a simple proposal while we have some time here. I'm going to do that based off of an opportunity. And there's 3 important steps when you're creating a doc package. There's gathering the data, selecting the documents, and defining how that's going to be delivered out. And so we're on the data part. And because I've selected the opportunity, it's automatically going to show me a visual interface of all of the objects I have access to because I've set it off the opportunity. Now, if I needed to get something else like a child object or a lookup, I can easily go and in the interface add the relationship, and then that will become available to load into my document. So I'm just adding a contact role here, and if there were no records returned, I'm going to delete that table inside the document. Now that I've done the data, I'm going to go ahead and move over to our documents. Now we have this brand new quick interface that allows you to quickly go through your libraries or your document folders and select your documents. So here I have 2 documents. I'm not going to bore you with tagging the document, but I'm going to show you a really cool feature that we just added that's drag and drop and allow you to sort those documents as you need it in your package. Now that documents are done, we have one more step called delivery. And so I'm going to go ahead and give this a nice friendly name, proposal. And save that. And then I'm going to add one simple download delivery. Now, as I'm doing this, I want you to watch over here on the right, I have these steps. And when all these steps are done, it's going to flip around and it's going to allow us to test right here. And it's going to give us our most recent opportunities so that we can quickly select them, go ahead and select related contacts and the download delivery and run that package right there. So no longer do we have to go back and forth into tabs, select a record, select a button. And while this is running, all this is hot. So if I need to go and I need to make a relationship to a lookup, I can go here. If I need to go into my documents, I can go ahead and add a new document here. But in this case, I'm fine. I just need that document to finish and just make sure it's ready to deploy. So let me go ahead and click that link and open up that document. And here I have a beautiful document, nice cover page, a nice cover letter, and the quote. So I'm almost there. Let's go ahead and let's make this available to some other users in our org now that it's ready to go out. So we organize things by profiles. I'm going to quickly add a few profiles here and hit save. And we are done. We've just built a package in less than 3 minutes. And as you can see, the new Drawloop DocGen Designer is simple, it's intuitive, it's fast to build, it's fast to edit, and fast to deploy. Thank you again for allowing me to share this with you.
Nice job. I tell you, when I look at the way that you're generating that and the drag and drop, which was really cool, you click on it, it turns it a little bit to the side, you move it around, move it up and down, getting that continual progress update indicator on the right-hand side, and then even just doing the card flip, which is kind of a cool, I mean, it it's a little flashy, but that's exactly what I like is the flash. So being able to
people hit that button for, I think, just to see it flip.
Exactly. That's the kind of thing, is making it fun to be able to generate this, and yet what you came out with on the other end in less than 3 minutes was a beautiful looking document, had all the tables and everything that you wanted to have inside of it. And again, like I said earlier, if you have all this data inside of Salesforce and you don't bring it out for other use or generating additional documents from it, why else have you got it in there? You got to make use of this stuff, and it looks like you guys do a really good job of making it very easy to access the data, format it any way you want, and generate these things that basically make a business hum. I am going to give it over to Amanda and see what our audience has for a question for you, Vincent. Hang on. Let's see what Amanda's got for us.
I'm excited because I got to see, I have not seen this new app yet, so that was really cool. I've seen, obviously, what you guys have done over at Nintex and Drawloop, but it was really cool to see. So great job. The question is, are you working with custom objects as well?
Yes. Yeah, we can go through custom objects. If there was a custom object, which I believe I have here, they would just show up. You could have started off with a custom object and drilled down. So yeah, definitely.
Nice. Well, fantastic stuff. Thanks, Vincent. We appreciate your demo today. Everybody, stick around. We got one more demo left, and then it's your turn to vote for the winner. Joshua, take it away for our last demo for the day.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Next up, we've got, Next up, we've got Spanning Backup. Spanning Backup for Salesforce offers enterprise-grade data protection for your Salesforce data, including standard objects, custom objects, chatter messages, attachments, files, and metadata. Most importantly, it's lightning ready. Joining us today, we've got David from Spanning Backup, who's just going to show us how we can achieve enterprise-grade data protection in 3 minutes or less. David, are you out there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, your 3 minutes starts now, sir.
Thank you, everyone. So what you're seeing on the screen is the dashboard for Spanning Backup for Salesforce. And as you guys can see, we live inside of Salesforce. Spanning works in both Salesforce Classic as well as Salesforce Lightning. And we're also Lightning certified. Now, Spanning backs up not only the stuff that you get natively out of the weekly expos, but we also back up, compare, and restore metadata, which is not available today using the weekly expos option. Talking about comparison of metadata, I'm going to show you guys a quick demo of a comparison that I've ran from a backup comparing to the components in my Salesforce org. As you guys can see, the number of reports haven't changed, but we can see that there is one item that has changed within the reports comparison. When I scroll down through this list, I can see that there is this cases by status report, which is highlighted in a different color to show you that this is one item that has changed. And when I click through it, you can see a diff view showing the exact changes. Now, if you're an admin or a developer, you can always export this out and then use force.com IDE, but we make it easy from start to finish at Spanning, so we have built a restore functionality directly from the comparison view so that you can continue to restore, and then automatically Spanning selects the items that could be restored, and for this particular scenario, it's the one item that changed. So I can select this item, hit next, and from the confirmation screen, I can hit restore, and my report will be restored the way it was. So in addition to offering metadata comparison, restore, and all of that, we also have additional functionality because we are inside of Salesforce and what we call as on-page restore functionality. So let's assume that I'm a salesperson that has access to this particular record, and as part of my job, I'm editing this particular account. I'm going to make some changes over here, remove some items, and then hit save. Once I hit save, I realized that I actually modified the wrong account. I should have modified the Grand Hotels and Resorts Private Limited instead of this particular account. But thanks to Spanning Backup, we have restore functionality built on the page layout itself. And that means that I can get a side-by-side comparison view of the changes in specific fields from what they are in Salesforce versus what they are in my prior backup. I can also navigate to prior versions of the backups, and as you guys can see, there are different fields that are getting modified. So from here, I can select individual ones, or I can go ahead and restore all of them. But this is available for end users as well. Now, spanning backup for Salesforce is available on the AppExchange, and there is a 14-day free trial for the full functionality available. So do try us out and let us know what you guys think.
Nice. Thanks a lot. Yeah, way under the 3 minutes there. So congratulations for getting through that. Really appreciate it. Quick and snappy. When we talk about spanning backup, the real value that I see that you bring to the table is in-app backup and restore. And one of the things that I especially find interesting is the fact that you also back up the metadata. And so for those Salesforce admins out there, you have the data that needs to be backed up for the record level, which we showed you today, in addition to metadata. And metadata is about your configurations that exist in your Salesforce org. So your reports, your custom objects, your list views, and things like that. If you've ever had that time where you have a parameterized report and someone sort of saves as a specific parameter, it doesn't necessarily view for everyone else. And you get that first user calling and say, I don't see all my results in my report. That's a perfect use case for spanning backup. So at the click of a button, you're able to get in there, you're able to see what's changed recently and quickly restore it back to previous versions to get your users up and running. So that was clearly shown here. So thank you so much for that demo.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Amanda, what questions do we have out there for spanning backup today?
Yes, great job. The question is, how many different types of metadata do you restore?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, so we restore 17 metadata types natively from our product. That includes things like object definitions, pages, permissions, roles, reports, dashboards, classes, flows, workflows, approval processes, and things of that nature. We primarily focus on metadata types that the admin need more than the developers, because for developers, they also might need like testing and all of that before they actually deploy metadata. So most of the metadata types that we allow to restore natively from spanning today are primarily focused for admins.
Got it. Thank you so much. All right, that's it. Jeff, how did we do?
Well, I think it was an awesome demo jam, but really what we got to do is we got to get the audience participation going. We've had your demo jam hashtags out there on Twitter, but it's time for you guys to vote. Let's go ahead and put up the ways of voting. You got to get your mobile device out, and it's time to text and vote. Take a look at who was up here, and all you have to do is just text that single letter, A, B, C, D, E, or F, to one of those two numbers out there. We want to make sure that you guys get a chance to vote. Show who you thought did the best job today. And while we give ourselves a little time for you guys to vote, and then we'll announce a winner, I think I got something to share with you guys about Trailhead. Did you guys know that there is a Trailhead area all about AppExchange? There is. And you know what? It's actually pretty cool. So you can not only learn about how the AppExchange works, which, we're here to help you guys learn about that too, but there's also ways that you can learn more about app development on the AppExchange and how that works. Now, of course, a lot of us have been out there and used Trailhead before because we want to earn those badges. We want to be able to show to the world that we've studied these topics, we understand them, and we're kind of passionate about a lot of these areas. But one of the new things that Salesforce has been making available, and this is something that my employer, I work for a company called Traction on Demand, we are actually joining in with the My Trailhead modules. And so what it really means is we're going to be applying Trailhead inside our own organization for our employees, for our customers, and it's going to be really slick. I'm in a pilot group where we're going to be launching this. And, Joshua, I don't know how many badges you got out there, but it is fun earning these things. It's fun learning. You think about the tone and the voice that Salesforce puts into it. It actually just makes learning a lot more fun. Do you have any particular trails that you've taken before, Joshua, that are meaningful to you, that you enjoyed, that you maybe even worked hardest to earn that badge?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the badges that I pride myself is one of the ISV badges on the on Trailhead right now. I mean, every month we invite these awesome partners to come here and demo their apps. But what many people might know is there's a lot of work and architecture decisions that have to go into building those applications and the design decisions that you have to take. So as a developer at heart, I'm all geeking out over how these different partners that can come to these demo jams, demo their app, what's happening under the hood. So we talk about it on sort of the the end user level. But there's a lot of decision making that's gone there. And so there's a Trailhead module that actually talks you through what are the different types of AppExchange packages that you can publish, what are the ways that you can publish, what are the features that are available, what does that look like to you? And so those are the ones that I've taken because I like building apps.
Well, and I think what's important too is that Trailhead goes with you, so you can have it associated with your social accounts, so that if you change jobs when you move on, you carry that with you, and it's stuff that you've earned. It's showing your interests, and it's continually being added to. And there's a great team of people at Salesforce who not only design these trails and make sure that there's new content coming out all the time, especially around things like certification, with new releases coming out. There's always new stuff being added. And of course, when you start going to events like we heard about today, getting invited to events, of course, if you go to a Salesforce event, you're always going to be finding the Trailhead area. You're going to find ways that you can earn stuffed animals, which we don't have video going on today, but you'd see a few in the background of my area here. In fact, actually, one of my favorites, well, okay, she's not from Trailhead, but one of my favorites is Appy. And, Amanda, Appy's pretty close to your heart as well, I think. But, Appy is somebody.
Your favorite is Appy.
Well, of course it is. It's always going to be. Exactly. But it's just fun because there's so much you can learn from Trailhead out there. And I think the advent of being able to do My Trailhead, adopting this within your own organization, and not only improving the way that your team learns, but then applying this out to customers as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll have to let you know how it goes, but I'm looking forward to being a part of this pilot group and trying it out.
Yeah, Jeff, I echo your sentiment. I think it's a really good thing that Salesforce is doing about replicating what they've done for Trailhead within the organizations. I also think that when organizations choose to leverage this, what's interesting about the content that makes I feel like it work with Trailhead is that the content is relevant and easily understood. Given the level that you want to achieve. So if I'm reading through a trail, I'm actually solving a real use case. I'm actually going into a dev org and then being able to do something and also check to see that I understand that and then I've done it the correct way. That immediate feedback in a playground area without necessarily having to try in production or getting your developer instance, Trailhead solves all of that. And being able to replicate those same methodologies and systems and things that we've seen work on Trailhead in the last couple of years into your organization is just super powerful for any organization.
It is. Much fun. But Joshua, we can't put this off any longer. We got to announce the winner. So I am going to create the drum roll here, but you are going to be the announcer. So are you ready, sir?
And today's winner for February's demo of admin apps from the AppExchange is Cvent.
All
Congratulations.
right.
Woo! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a couple words?
Yeah,
sure.
Thank the Academy.
How apropos with it coming on Sunday. I guess I'd like to put the customers first. We didn't develop this app out anywhere. We took feedback and really paid attention to what they wanted. Shout out to the product team, Swati and Hannah, and everyone else that worked on that on the product team and developing this app. And of course, to Cvent Nation. Stay hungry, my friends. And thank you to everyone who voted. And thank you to my dog who judges me from my couch while he's napping.
That's a fantastic acceptance speech. I think that's probably one of the best we've had. So good job. Great demo today. Amanda, why don't you close us out?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Cvent. Thank you, everyone, for coming today, and all of our partners for these amazing demos for admins. It's just so great to see. You can actually check out and install all of these apps at appdemojam.com. We'll also have today's recording on YouTube within a few hours. You can check that out at appdemojam.com as well. So you are registered for this demo jam, so all you have to do is come same time, same place next month. We will have our next demo jam webinar on March 21st for financial services. Before that, we have London's Calling. I believe, Joshua, you're going to that, right?
I will not be at London's Calling this year, but I will be at Southeast Streaming in March 21st through the 22nd.
Ah, yes. Sorry, I must have swapped them. Yeah, so we've got a demo jam, and you can meet Joshua in person and see that battle happen at Southeast Streaming in Atlanta. And then, yes, London's Calling with Francis Pindar, who's hosted before. He's a great demo jam host as well. That is March 8th in London. So some great demo jams coming up for sure. Thank you all for coming today. Hope you enjoyed today's demo jam. I know we did, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.